For the ones who aren't afraid to stand out, to embrace the unexpected, who live for the thrill of somewhere new. For those who were born originals, for whom local is a language they're always learning, and authentic their only destination. For those who want to drink it all in, the spirit, the vibrance, the flavor of it all. Who want to stay in the moment, in the story, and in the thick of it, or off the map, and leave the details to someone else. For those who crave a collection of hotels that stay with them, the Tapestry Collection. Stay original. This is Teachable Moments with April podcast. I am your host, April. If you're a returning listener, I appreciate you and welcome back. If you're a new listener, welcome and thank you. To everyone listening, remember, teachable moments are all around us. Enjoy. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of My Two Cents. Is it just me? There's a lot that I would like to talk about today. One of them is about some very strange incidents that have been going on. Let me start. Let me kind of backtrack. So I did on My Two Cents. It probably was the last one that I did, and I talked about a specific topic about people that I had encountered who had of a certain age group, actually, which was interesting to me. Now, there may be other people that may be experiencing this, was with the rashes or hives, even. And the three people in question were people that would easily be put into what you would call baby boomers group. None of the three people involved are related. They don't live with each other. And they don't know exactly where they've gotten this particular rash from. But that always kept in my mind because of the fact that I couldn't figure it out. So anyway, something kind of brought it back to my mind. Not to say that it's connected, but recently, meaning yesterday, something came up on the news, and they said, speaking of social media, that a sign was put in the door of a local police department saying that there was an outbreak of measles, okay, and that they wanted to, like a disclaimer, it was posted at the door. Nicely done, too. The reason why I'm saying nicely done is because later, once it was investigated, no one knew who put the sign up. Allegedly, migrants had stayed at this particular police department. And at some point, this sign had been put up, and some people, posted it to social media, and then the reporters and the news feeds and so forth and so on start to look into it, only to say that they don't know who put it up. Okay, there is no measles. The people in question actually did have some form of rashes, but they are still looking into it initially. Not measles, but don't know what it is. Then at some point, as the day and the evening went on, they were leaning more toward possible chicken pox. But I still haven't heard if it's in fact chicken pox. So it got me thinking about the three people that I know had gotten this rash in certain parts of their body. Each person is different, okay? How they look and so forth and so on. So I'm sitting there, and it like triggered something. That's how my mind works. And I said, okay, so now you got migrants with rashes or hives. As to, do they itch? I don't really know. They didn't go into a lot. They just were more focused on, because it's a public place, okay, and now you got a sign on the door, and about a rash or hives, and you're insinuating by this note that was put on the door, measles. Okay, who put it up there? No one knows. I guess they're still investigating. You put together this thing, this sign, and put it on the door where everybody can see and nobody know that it was up there. Nobody know who put it up there. They can't find out who did it. I find it very hard to believe. So this is what I'm talking about. Things are done, and then it, to me, it's just common sense. And then if you say something, then you're wrong. Okay, there's a lot going on that just makes no sense, but yet it don't stop. And then when you make a comment or you ask like, hey, is there measles? Oh no, there's no measles. Okay, well, why is this sign on every single door? Oh, I don't know where that came from. What? Somebody had to put it up there. Somebody had to like type it up and print it out and laminate it real nice. Where did this sign come from? Why is this here? And then the people had actually had some kind of skin irritation or rash or hives or whatever, but it really wasn't measles. Okay, so they actually did have something. So that's the reason why the mysterious people put the sign on the door, but nobody want to own up to it. Okay. All right. So that was the one of the things. So the second thing is some, maybe you want to call these rumors, I don't know, of people getting these, that word again that kind of is a trigger for me, mysterious. Mysterious. So I started to look into these mysterious illnesses that people have. And when I started to dig a little bit, not a lot, just a little, I started to notice over a certain time span, going back as far as maybe between 4 months at least, people getting mysterious illnesses. People who are celebrities, people who are not celebrities, people in other countries, in other states, and that is the header, whether you're looking at videos, whether you're looking at just, just regular uh, text, like you're just looking up stuff online. It's always that word. It's something about that word that keeps popping up. So I'm just going to read to you from my notes some of that content. So actually something that I did not know is that in North Korea, it was about 4 months ago, yeah, they had a lockdown, and it was held, the lockdown lasted for 5 days due to, wait for it, mysterious respiratory illness. Okay, that they stayed away from the Rona, um, but they did refer to it as fever patients. Fever patients. Okay. I don't really know what the outcome of that was, but there was a lot of videos on that, about North Korea, and I had no idea that that actually happened. Um, then something more recent happened, and which does have to do with what we're talking about, the Rona, um, and finding a mutated strain of actually a person, as they put it, in Ohio. And how they found out about this was through the wastewater sampling. Okay, that I didn't realize that they were still doing. Um, then they showed the gentleman who was a part of this particular team, and he said he'd been following this, what turned out to be one person. I don't really know anything about wastewater sampling. He said he'd been following for the past 2 years, and at first he thought that it maybe was rodents, aka rats, but actually it was human, and it actually belonged to one human in particular. Okay, like I said, I don't know anything about it. I did look very briefly at the city that I stay in the state that I live in and found out that they are still doing it here in my state and in my city, and they actually do it twice a week. Okay, twice a week, and they look at the results, however they do it, every Wednesday. I didn't know that, so that was interesting. Okay. So then also I saw something else in regards to a certain part of Africa. And this was again the mysterious illness that actually killed 9 people. Now, this broadcast from Citizen TV Kenya on YouTube, their YouTube channel, was actually broadcast 3 weeks ago. Okay, and it said that there's this mysterious illness. The symptoms are flu-like symptoms plus a swollen spleen. Ow, wow, and very severe headaches. They said that the clinics were flooded for two weeks straight. Okay, and the actual mysterious illness had a lot of trademarks of malaria, but it's not malaria. I don't know, because this was done 3 weeks ago. I don't know yet again, and it being in another country, what was the outcome? Like what was the actual outcome to this? Okay, so then we go back to that magical number 4 months ago, and actually Kelly Ripa, okay, lost her voice due to, drum roll, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, mysterious illness that she got tested for. So I looked at some footage of her and Ryan Seacrest, and she sounds very hoarse and so forth. She actually had a voice, but it was very hoarse and very gravelly, almost raspy. And they joke about it, her and Ryan. Did she smoke some cigars? Did she eat the cigars? And stuff. And she said that she actually, the night before, couldn't talk at all. Not just raspy, but not at all. Nothing came out. Okay. And then I look at some footage of her actually regaining her voice, and her saying that she had been tested by her physician for so many different things, every possible thing that was out there, and it all came back negative. And her doctor actually could not tell her what she actually even had. So this is what I'm talking about, this mysterious illnesses. So I really feel, I'm not really into telling people what to do, but when people want to patrol and control misinformation and disinformation, there's a lot of other things going on, and people talking rumors, gossip, whatever you want to call it, is the least of our worries. We have some real substantial things that are really going on, and if that is not your business, meaning you're the FDA or whatever it is that you do, state there's enough for you to occupy your time other than what people are talking about, meaning people gossiping or rumors. Okay, if you feel that it's incorrect and it's fake and it's all of these things, why are you putting any type of effort into it? Why are you bothered by it? You got people getting mysterious illnesses left and right, and all kinds of shenanigans and different things going on that is actually doing stuff to people. I think you have a lot on your plate. I don't think you need any to patrol or control or mediate or police what people are saying, because people are going to talk regardless. I guess I can't, like I said, I can't tell you what to do. It's not my place, but it's just my 2 cents. But we got some real problems here, people. I think you need to leave that alone. I think you really need to get on your grind and really do what it is that you got paid for. I'm just saying. So then it's just an endless like flow of information of all of these mysterious illnesses in schools and other states, like I said, things that hold people in townships. I'm trying to look at it. One in Philadelphia, actually, the Salisbury Township. This was a month ago. 6 kids and 2 adults were taken to the hospital from a school. Okay, I didn't write down what school it was. And they didn't really go into the symptoms, but they kind of hearken to something about the air quality. They seemed like they were concerned, even though they didn't go into what the symptoms were of these kids and these adults. Something about the air quality was checked. So makes me think that, of course, it might have been something that in the respiratory complications in their respiratory tracts or something. I don't know. They didn't really say. So air, breathe, you know, hit that good old fashioned common sense we are talking about. So, but even though they checked the air quality, there was nothing wrong with it. So they're just kind of left with, they're not sure what caused it. But the interesting thing about this particular school in Philadelphia, in this Salisbury township, which every time I say Salisbury, I think of Salisbury steak, of course, that I be honest, I'm not really a fan of, but I do think of Salisbury steak. But anyway, it's that something similar happened October of last year at the same school. So, but with that one, they did find out what happened, and I think it did have to do with air quality. So, I forgot what exactly had got into the system, the air system within the school. So that might explain why they thought it was the air quality again, but it was not. So I just didn't realize how many incidents, starting, like I said, in the time frame that I gave, as well as just last year, and maybe even before that, where you have these patches of time in which you have mysterious illnesses and no one ever finds out what exactly happened to these people. Now, the last one I had on my list is from San Diego, and it was 3 months ago. And it says something about a new virus that is not Rona, and it's not the cold, the common cold, or the flu. And they also coined it as a mysterious illness. And they said that a whole family got it. But their symptoms, okay, for each family member, there were some similarities, but there were some differences. And the mother gave a little bit of an example, and I'm not going to go into it, but she said that one of her sons, it started with one of her sons at the dinner table. Okay, and he just sicked. He sicked up everywhere. He said, "Mom, I don't feel good." And, it kind of ran its course through the family. And she said, since that happened, it never happened again. Okay. But then when they asked certain like physicians, they said that there are so many illnesses that are out there that have been around for a very long time, and that even though they're maybe not recognized by people, it's really not that uncommon. So one particular one that they spoke of, I think it's I don't know. I forgot the abbreviation. I forgot to write it down. I don't know if it's HMPV or something like that. Some kind of viral thing. And it seems to be really picking up and gaining traction with people. And it's the same flu-like symptoms, like with most things. That's the textbook thing. No matter if it isn't a cold or a flu, it has those symptoms: runny nose, sneezing, watery eyes, you know the gamut. So I got curious, and I started thinking to myself, when is cold and flu season? When does it start? When does it end? So traditionally it would be in September, and it would go until April. But It seems now it has been extended to May. There's no other you like you. No one has your eyes or your thoughts because you are one of a kind, and we created Johns Hopkins Health Plans. Each of us has a voice that is completely unique. Shouldn't your health plan be just as special? You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I invite you to connect with us on our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. I also encourage you to become a paid subscriber in order to gain access to subscriber-only exclusive episodes and content. As always, be well and stay blessed. Until next time.